Good morning. I'm still in Colombia and I'm back to my work. Today I'm going to talk about good intentions in general, and about how the year and the months of your personal life affects your intentions, my intentions, everybody's intentions. We will talk about this some other day, but if you listen to a previous podcast, you will understand how to calculate your personal day. So today, and also I already talked about the year. So today I'm gonna give you a little deeper understanding of it, but of course, not talking to you personally does not really allow me to be very practical with that. I'm giving you a general information which you can calculate all the information that is relevant to you, and I'm giving general suggestions, but you can absolutely derive what's right for you and what's relevant to you. But like I said, in November I will do a few master classes where I'm gonna go deeper in conversation with you. So if you're interested in really make it practical, I just woke up. My speech is not fully activated yet. So if you're interested in personal connection, during these master classes, I will do a little bit of a recap, short recap, and then we will go to personal mini sessions. What it means is that you will be able to ask your question, deep burning question, superficial question, very disturbing question, any question you want, and I will show you how different energies affect your life, and most importantly, how you can do things better, understand things deeper, and be more practical in making decisions that are strategic and tactical for you. Because I know from my personal life, when we are with other people in situations where you have influences of different categories, we sometimes forget who we are, and we focus on how to be okay, comfortable for other people, which is okay. It's a good idea to learn how to be in relationship with people around you. But that saying about tell me who you are, who your friends are, who your 5 closest friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. That stands. It's an ancient wisdom, I believe, and it talks about how we get lost in relationships, or how we get inspired by relationships, or how we get motivated by relationships, and all of it might be very useful for the other person in the relationship, but not necessarily you. We are all different. And understanding how different we are is the key of understanding life itself. Why? Because every one of us has our own strategy. Every one of us has also an ability to create relationship and sustain relationship or break relationships. Everyone can analyze and everybody can find the goal. Of course, we act. Of course, we try to be comfortable in life, because if we don't, what's the point? Of course, we need energy, because if we don't have energy, we cannot really do anything, no matter how wonderful our intentions are. And we always control, or at least we try to control material environment, material results of our efforts. And of course, we want to be useful, we want to be helpful to other people. So all those 9 different laws, universal laws, are working on us, with us, because that's how we survive here on Earth, in this harsh environment on Earth, with all kinds of stumbling blocks and physical conditions. At the same time, the strategy for everyone is different. The relationships we make depend on who you are, and how you run relationships also different for everybody. We analyze from the different standpoints, from the different understanding of life, through the different lenses of experience and expertise and beliefs. And I'm not even talking about religious beliefs. I'm talking about beliefs we've been picking up all throughout our life from teachers, preachers, parents, of course. And then everybody makes actions. But how sequential and how correct those actions are for your intention is a big question mark. It looks okay in the moment. When you look back, you go, wow, that was not a good idea. I knew it. But at the time, probably you didn't, or you wouldn't do it. Also, we project the negative outcome or positive outcome into the future. How to create sequential steps in the future. Those are predictions, projections. It's great if it happens this way, but usually life does not necessarily match your thinking, unless you know some of the universal laws. And then there is the next level of comfortable. Everybody feels comfortable in a different way. What's comfortable for one might not necessarily be comfortable for another. The energy levels fluctuate. Right now I'm dancing in Colombia Tango Festival, and there are dancers that I match with my energy, and I absolutely love it, and this is the energy exchange like everything else. And after some dances I feel, and after some dances I feel, which means that we are all different, and it feels differently, of course. And then, of course, we control life differently. Mothers control their children. Don't go. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's very dangerous. You're gonna fall. You're gonna lose your money. Even the mothers, when they're in their 60, 70, 80, 90, they still control their children who are now in their 70s. So, fathers, of course, protect their children. So we control our environment because we need to be sure that we are safe. And the safety is the universal law number 9. How we look for safety is different. Some people find safety in war because they believe that they conquer something and they'll have it. Some people create safety by protection of their material possessions or physical body. Some people create safety in learning how to live life more optimally. So we have all different ways in all different situations, and there is no way to learn how unless you understand how. Deep understanding comes from life experience, of course, but you can also learn some things so you can prevent bad things from happening. And this is how I protect people. I try to prevent bad things from happening. But and that was always my intention. This is how I've became a life coach, a digital psychologist. I've been a teacher for many years. I've built a school because when I moved to America, I realized my children would not get what they would get in Soviet Union, which was free and an amazing environment for the children to grow and to learn. It was offered everywhere for free. You could go to any place. And from looking back to that situation, when I came to America, everything you had to pay for. Well, I was an immigrant. So I decided I should build a school, alternative school, so children, my children and other immigrant children could have all they would have for free. But of course nothing is for free. I only realized it later. But I still had that school for 20 years with the support of the community and the people who were part of the school, who paid for the school. I had 46 teachers, 3 locations, 450 children. Isn't that amazing? So, my intention worked really well until I recognized that not everybody wants to be saved. Until I realized that what feels bad for me might be absolutely amazing for somebody else. And I realized that we're all different and the safety is different for everybody. So, some people have intentions about money. If I have lots of money, my life will be different, and my security and safety will feel better, and more people will love me. It's true to the point. Right now I'm in Colombia Tango Festival. There are lots of women with lots of money, and they buy dances, and that looks okay to me, if that's what they want. But in this festival, there are great dancers that you can just dance with, and not so many good dancers that you don't have to dance with. That's how it is in life. You dance with whoever you want to dance in life. And that is at the core of the intention. When we set our intentions, when we think about what we want and how we want it, it is written in our birthday. And we talked about it before, so listen to other broadcasts. So according to your birthday, you have a strong desire that is not necessarily from other people or from your mother, father, or teachers, or motivational speakers. You have a strong desire that lives in your psyche as an influence of the planet under which you were born. And I know some of you are now thinking about astrology and numerology. And as I explained before, digital psychology is called digital psychology and not numerology for a reason. Why? Because digital is the number. Yes, we all measure numbers. But this part of psychology, the philosophy and ideology of life, is not necessarily in other sciences. It's a prerogative of science of Syucai, the science of knowing from the distance, understanding deeper causes of some effects that we see in our life. And so, not only your day works with your psyche, your name works with your psyche as well. Of course, all the beliefs you pick up throughout the life. The sphere, we didn't talk about it, but we are born in a particular sphere. Varnas, it was called in ancient times. So there are some things that is for us to cause and create. Some long time ago, I was explaining how to connect with other people without taking upon yourself other people's intentions and goals. And I was showing a ball of a red thread, the one that you can knit with. So a ball of a red thread. So imagine I hold a ball of a red thread in my hand, and I start pulling this thread. And as I pull this thread, I can unweave the whole ball. And it would be a long line, red line, bloodline, of different experiences in my lineage, which dates back to God, to universe, because I don't come from the monkey, even though Darwin thought this way. But by the way, Darwin, before he died, said that none of it was proven, and it's for the future generations to prove that we actually came from the monkey. It is still a question mark. Nobody found that monkey, so I refuse to be that link. I feel that I am connected more to higher races, higher consciousness, which is in our common language called the universe or God. And God gives us each a thread, a piece of thread. And that piece of thread is in our genetics. If you look at the genetics line, it looks like this, weaved line, with the jewels in between. So when we receive that, it is embedded in our consciousness, in the consciousness of our body, not just in our mind. And that's what influences us. That's what we call in digital psychology the sphere. That we already have certain things based on the day that we were born that will be either supporting and lighting up our efforts or dismantling our efforts. And no matter how much and how hard we work, we would lose the result. we would not be able to control the material result because it's not our result to control. And so understanding those details about your life just saves you time, money, and energy, because time and money are resources, and energy is also a resource of your being. So you don't want to conserve the energy. You want to use the energy appropriately so you can have better results, whether you call it material or spiritual, because we are spiritual beings having a material result of our life, a material experience in a material plane. But after everything is done and all the money are earned and all the houses are built and all the cars are driven, we leave that plane and we go back to energy. And as we go back to energy, we go back as photons, protons, and electrons. So how much money those photons had is not important. How much experiences you had is important, because experiences create memories of the soul, creates the lineage, treasure of lineage wisdom. And it's integrated with the lineage in a way that it affects the 7 generations or more that come after you, and 7 generations or more that are behind you, because this is how the energy works. Energy is unstoppable. It travels miles. That's why I can read people's energy and work with people intuitively. Plus, with the expertise and knowledge that I have and experience of life I have, I am able to decipher those energies. And Syucai and the 9 laws of the universe apply to every area of your life and every area of your body and every area of your emotion, and even to elements of life from which we are made, and even to business, and even to how much money you can make. All of that could be looked at from the distance in a way that is very business-like and structural, but at the same time is extremely spiritual, because it talks to our spirit. So, when you set your intention, all those influences, including the influence of the time, which is never linear, by the way. The time is not linear, so it is sequential only because we are able to perceive time sequentially. But if you go back into memory line, you're in a different time, even though right now, simultaneously with other times, you are present in this time. So you can understand that we have an ability to access certain times that we remember. Reading history book, we access time we don't remember or never knew about, but then we are accessing that time through somebody else's lenses. So isn't that wonderful to have a system which allows you to look at everything from the natural, ecological viewpoint, instead of looking at things through one particular lens of one particular category, for example, the memory, or the history, or your mother or your father belief system. So, when you go into your intention, some intentions have a potential to be fulfilled, and some, for you particularly, and some intentions will never be fulfilled, because it's not in your potential. What is potential? Potential is the amount of energy God gives you for your life. And it's not a limited potential. It's a seed of potential. You can grow it or you can contract it, depending on your decisions and actions. But when you grow it, you can only grow it through knowledge that you learned from somebody, and then analyze that information, how it works in your life, and only then deciding if that's yours to cause and create or not. And then there is a level of understanding of what is mine to cause and create. Because if you are expending your energy and you're trying really hard to create something that is not in your potential, not in your seed, so to speak, your body is not made for it. Your mind fluctuates from it. You have to effort. You have to bring yourself back to it. Sometimes it simply means you didn't find what you're looking for. How do you know what's yours to cause and create? When you find that, you do not effort anymore. What I mean is not that now things are easy. You can effort all you want. You actually want to effort because you love it and you don't feel that you're efforting. So what you love might take much more time than something that you don't love. For example, you can go to work 9 to 5, come back and forget about it. I work non-stop because I love it, and my work is creating books and metaphorical cards and meeting with people and doing my individual sessions and broadcasting and going around the world collecting the experiences. All of that is work, but it no longer feels like work. It feels like amazing life. So if you drag your feet to work, for example, it might not necessarily be yours to cause and create, but it doesn't mean you have to stop your work and go without material results. It just means you do not understand what part of that red thread is yours to cause and create. Because we try throughout the life the whole big ball of red thread, everybody's lineages and everybody's experiences, but at the end, we have our own piece. It's not huge, it's not small, it's exactly the size we need. And when you understand what's yours, it is so much easier to move on with the more goal-oriented action. So there is no conflict between your intention and your action. So if you find yourself setting up the goal, New Year is coming, it's going to be everybody's priority to start a new life. The year is changing. Last time I was explaining, right now it's 2024, so in summary it's number 8. If you add the day of your birth, the month of your birth, and the number 8, the current year, and you have the summary, bring it to the single number, you will know what year you are in, your personal year. You're not in 2024. I am, for example, in year 3. The year of systemization. No wonder I'm in Syucai. Some other people might be in year of scale. No wonder your business growing. No wonder you have a couple more children. So everything has the sequential cause and effect result. But if you don't know, you don't know. So the new year is coming and everybody will start setting the goals. But if your new year is not number 1, maybe it's year number 9, no matter what kind of goal you create, you might not be able to fulfill it, or you would work hard to finish that goal, because year 9 is not necessarily about setting the goals. It's about taking care of yourself, because you lived through a 9-year cycle and you need to embrace it, look at it, learn from it, let go of some of the wars that you've created, find the safety and peace in your experience, get the lessons and move on. So, right now is month number 11. It just started, November. So the single number of month 11 is 2, 1 and 1. So, what does it mean? First of all, never mind that. Let's not talk about it. That's for numerical calculation. So you take your personal year that you already know. So my year is 3. And you add the months, which is 11 or 2. It doesn't mean anything in this particular moment. Forget what I said. But when you add number 8 of the year with your personal months, which is my 3, you will have the number 11, which will be the months, your personal months. Morning. All right. So, I know I confused you a little bit. No worries about it. Let's talk about last 3 months, 10, 11, and 12 of this year. Number 10 gives you an understanding of what kind of year is coming up, because 10 comes to 1. So let's say I have a personal year 3. Plus 1. Next year would be number 4. So now, without confusion, as I talk, some things come in, some things come out, and I've confused you with the numbers. So never mind that. You take your personal year that you've calculated for yourself, which is number that you've calculated, not number 8. How you do it again is you take the day of your birth, the month of your birth, and number 8, because this is the current year. Your 2 informations are from you, month and day, and the year is common, 2024, so it's 8. When you calculate all of it, you have the number of your year. Now you take the number of your year, and you, so mine is 3 right now, and you summarize it with the number of the current month, which is 11, which is number 2, 1 and 1. So my 3 plus 2 would be 5. So November is number 5 in my personal my personal number. So for you, it would be your personal year and the current month, which is November, plus 11. 1 and 1, 2. And then you will have the number of your months. I'll talk more about it, and I'll give you personal months on the master class. All right. So 5, for example, is a month of expanding. And November is right before the end of the year. So a lot of people in this month will expand the body, will eat a lot because of the holidays. But for me, it might mean also to eat more, to want more, to buy more, to run around, to talk without any sense, to expand my time, which is I'm doing right now, sort of. I'm not sleeping. My day is much longer. My energy is much less. Or understanding that month 5 is about finding resources to make yourself comfortable, month number 6 for me in December. Which means I create broadcasts right now to connect with you. Because at some point I've moved and I kind of lost my people in Chicago. I didn't gain all the people in Sarasota yet because I'm not there necessarily. I'm traveling around the world. I'm making connections, but I'm not supporting those connections. And so how you can scale, how you can expand in this month is about finding the way in which your strategy fits your purpose. My purpose is to bring the knowledge of how life works, how the universe works, how the people work between themselves, how the money works, how the business works, to bring that structure through understanding the universal laws. And I've done it all my life, since I was, 5-year-old probably. I would gather people around, we would sit on the grass, I would bring bread from my house, we would find the dill behind the house, we had some wild dill, and we would put the salt on the bread, the dill on top of it. Everybody was fed by me, 5-year-old, and I would talk about things, or I would tell the stories, because I'm a storyteller. And so when I was doing that, I was already fulfilling my intention. God-given intention is to understand how the universe works and make it to perfection, that understanding. That's why I'm digging and digging and digging, because through my knowledge and through my life experience, I understand deeper and I share that. And my mission, based on that desire, strong desire, God-given desire, to understand the universe and make it available for people to live in a much structured way, so you don't lose energy, you don't lose relationship, you don't lose money. Because my mission is to prevent bad things from happening, to protect people. I'm a warrior. Some of you know me. I can be like fire. Woo! If I don't like something, you'll hear from me. If I love something, you'll hear from me too. I'm very fiery person. But I will protect. If something is not safe, I will protect. And people who know me know that as well, that I'm small but mighty. I will always find the best way to realize situation, and if I can't, I'll just go for a war. And that's not always fortunate for me, but now I know that, so I learned how to control my emotions. And so in the year 5, with this fiery category, I could explode, but month 5. But at the same time, I understand what scale means. It means ecological growth. So if you, for example, are a business owner, and during the COVID time, everything got contracted first, and then we've been given loans. Yay, free loans! You don't have to give back money, or the loans without percent, or the loans just because it's money. You have to give it back sometime. You take somebody's money, you have to give back your own. That doesn't feel good. A few years later, after the COVID, we have that issue. Businesses grow up uncontrollably, because if you grow your business one step at a time, you learn how to control your business, how to scale, and how to control the resources of the business, and how to calculate properly the material result. But if money is given to you, somebody else made this money. You didn't go through the experience of understanding how to work, and how to sustain work, and how to calculate the material result, and how to bring ideas to conclusion. And so your intention of making the best business ever, the biggest business, might fall apart, just because you don't have that knowledge. And if you don't have the knowledge, you go through the crisis. When you go through the crisis, you gain the knowledge, but it's very expensive knowledge. So I prefer to pay for my knowledge, go to school. I went to Istanbul to School of Psychology. There is digital psychology. There is another school in Dubai, another school in Korea, and hopefully next year we'll open school here, because this is incredible, priceless understandings that everybody should have, especially our children, when they start growing and they get confused. Because every adult have their own understanding of the child, but the child is not you. Young people who are looking into what kind of college, what kind of prof orientation to take, those are intentions we make in life. I'm going to be a doctor, and maybe the doctor is not in your potential at all. Maybe you've heard, you've seen the people who've completed the college, and they have a lawyer degree, but they never practice because it's not necessarily in their potential. And when I say that, I don't say it from the thank you for your heart. It's really great to know somebody's listening, because otherwise I'm talking to the universe. Also a good connection, but it's interesting to know who's there, and if it's useful for you. So, for the young people, if you're a mother or a father, or if you're a young person yourself, what kind of college? Because the college is your innate talent. And if you go to another college that is not in your talent, because you don't understand your talent, you'll be struggling, and maybe you drop out of the college. That happens a lot. Or maybe you graduate as a teacher and you always work as a computer programmer in IT, right? So things are different for every one of us. And knowing what's there, it saves you money, time, and energy. But also, it's important to understand what happens at 33 when the mission kicks in. Let's say you have a personal month 5, like me. And the mission is your action. So after 33, you're possessed by your desire to be doing something important. So you get into your action, without even understanding why am I doing this action and not another action. And it creates a conflict in consciousness sometimes, because you desire one thing and your action could be a different number. And now that also affects your intentions and how you follow through. So I hope you understand the importance. I remind you how to calculate it again, because I've confused you somewhere in the middle. So you first calculate your personal year, and for this you have your day of birth and your month of birth, plus number 8, which is the summary of 2024. You summarize all the single numbers, you bring the result to the single number. This is your year, personal year. Regardless of 2024, you could have year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever else. And then to calculate the months, which is 5 for me, you take your personal year that you've calculated, a single number between 1 and 9 that you've calculated, and you add the current month, which is 11. 11 is 2, because it's 1 and 1. So you take your year, personal year, you bring a common month from the calendar, which is November right now, and you get the day, the number of your month. That number of your month affect your energy a lot. You feel the day more, but the month is also pretty short, so it's a concentration of energy. So month number 1 is setting up the goals, long-term goals, strategy. Number 2, build relationship. Number 3, analyze what's up. See where are you leaking energy. 4, prioritize, find your goal. 5, scale, find the way to expand, not in the way of overeating, but in the way of occupying more space in the world, finding more interesting experiences. 6, make your life comfortable enough, but most importantly, how can you make it so that other people are also comfortable? 7, gain the energy, walk every morning, walk. If you walk 10,000 steps, your body say thank you. You walk 15,000 steps, your head starts clearing up. At 20,000 steps, your whole being is different, because it cleared up the old energy from yesterday or the months before or the years before. So walking is rising Kundalini and giving your brain a shot of energy instead of taking those shots from the stores, vitamin B shots and stuff like that. All right. And then number 8 is about what's going on with my material results. Do I know how to ecologically control that? And if I'm not in my realization, if I'm not doing what I have as my talent, if I'm not expanding my ability to express myself in the world, then material result will be minimal, and our control will go to the family. You do this, don't do this. And number 9, if that's the year number 9, it's the year of completion and conclusion, lessons learned, understanding of what happened as a result of it in your physical body, because that's the only material result you actually can control. And so looking into better diet, better sleep, better movement, better intentions for your physicality, maybe going to lab to analyze what's in your blood, maybe going to chiropractor to analyze what's in your spine, because Kundalini energy rises through the spine, and if your spine is like this, of course, you have a blockage somewhere. There are osteopaths, gentle chiro. Be careful with the chiro. You don't need to click everything back in norm in the spot, because it comes out right away. But work with the muscles. Pilates. People who love yoga, but you have to move. Stretching is not going to do it for you. It needs to be a combination, like everything in life. It needs to be strength and flexibility. So when you're not flexible in life, you know what happens. When you're not strong, you also know what happens. So if it's year 9, that's the time to take care of yourself big time. But every year there is a month 9 in which you take care of yourself as well, more goal-oriented to this, and in every month there is a day 9, and so it goes to every number. So you can experience that energy and correct whatever needs to be corrected. The opportunity is in every 9 day or 9 months or 9 year cycles. And as you do that, as you pay attention to what's going on in your body, how your energy fluctuates, how your business fluctuates, how your relationship fluctuates, you start noticing those universal laws. And when we come together for the master class, it's a free class, because my intention is to save humanity from being mindless. Oh, impossible. If you want to be mindless, absolutely. Be mindless, because there is a bliss in ignorance. But unfortunately, once you know something, if you don't know from yourself, you know from your doctor, right? Or you know from your business, money is not there. Or you know from your relationship, your husband or your wife is no longer there. So if you don't want to know ahead of time, like I try to do in my sessions, I analyze the patterns, and I don't predict, but I say, these are the tendencies. So if you have the tendencies, correct them, or you will end up with the material result you don't necessarily intend. So as you set your intentions, be aware of who you are, be aware of what's going on in your life, and then you have the time, a proper time to correct. And the proper time is your personal calendar. So my intention is to bring this knowledge into the world in a big way, in English language, because the originator, Zhanat Kozhamzharov, speaks Russian. He lives in Kazakhstan, not really. He lives around the world because he teaches everywhere. But right now it's in Russian. And this year, coming year, the plans are to start classes in English in US. Right now, there will be a class in English in Dubai in December, I believe. So if you're interested, text me. I'll give you information. You can go and learn from the English-speaking people from his team. But in America, not sure if somebody's teaching in English. I think I'm right now, maybe me and maybe 1 or 2 other people. Yes, I'm going to give you the link. You can connect to Telegram channel, because it's easier to control material environment, because Telegram channel has this one... Telegram channel has this ability to invite people to a particular meeting. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and it will be Zoom meetings. I'll give you the link in Telegram. I'm not going to give the link on a Facebook, because I don't want random people to just join in, because sometimes it creates disturbance in terms of hackers. But I know everybody in Telegram channel. We communicate, and I'll give you the link in personal stream. So we have a great, deep, personal conversation that is useful and practical for everybody. Much love. I'll be back on 5th in Sarasota, but until then, I'll post. Have a great, blessed day. Walk, move, have your life figured out. Bye.